that. And that is the way I generally start most games of Planetside 2. Hello everyone, as always, I am NEligahn, and it's been a bit since our last tour, has it not? So what we are going to do is we're going to start something that I've been kind of anticipating. We're going to start exploring the various units of the various races, starting with the Vanu Sovereignty, who seem to have the most technologically advanced vehicles and such. So we are going to redeploy as an engineer, and we are going to the warp gate. Always fun. I know very little about the Vanu. I've been mostly playing TR lately. And for some reason I'm auto in a squad. So we're going to get out of this squad, because we don't need to be in a squad. Where are we? Nelly McPew-Pew. Let's get out of there. Okay. So these are our flying vehicles. More flying vehicles. Ah, here we go. And these are our land vehicles. And there's some crazy people. Go to a vacant one. Press E. Now we've got 4 vehicles here. Those of you who have watched some of my tours before are already well familiar with the very lovely Flash, which is your quick, get around fast, get things done vehicle. And we've got the Sunderer, which is your troop transport. We got the Lightning tank, which everyone has. It's a nice, fast, single-passenger, single-driver tank. My personal favorite. And then we've got the Mag Rider, which is a hover tank, which I have yet to drive. So we're going to give it a bit of a drive and see what it's like. So our present plan is to take each of these vehicles out and give them a test drive in a combat scenario, which means I'm going to drive it someplace and we're going to see what kind of things happen. Usually it will probably involve my death. What we're going to also look at are the certifications for the Flash. These are what you upgrade using your certification points. Those are what you earn as you play and continue leveling up. We've got the Flash passive systems. Now if you notice over here, these are your upgrade slots. Your camo, give it a nice purple there, make it the Planetside logo, no misc, none of that stuff. Now you fill those slots by certifying these. Acquisition timer, as you can tell, as you add more certifications to it, it reduces the time it takes for that particular vehicle to spawn. And then you've got your utility slot. There's 4 here. We first got the IR smoke. It creates a smoke screen around the vehicle that makes it difficult to see and prevents lock-ons for 6 seconds. And this, as it continues, just lowers the reuse time, which is your cooldown. Simple enough. Scout radar. Enemies near the vehicle will appear on the map of nearby allies for up to 25 meters. For up to 25 meters, 50 meters, 75 meters, 100 meters. NFI 2000 Turbo. Burns fuel to increase the vehicle's speed significantly. Fuel regenerates 12% faster, fuel regenerates 25% faster, 37%, 50%. So that's fuel upgrades for that. Then we've got the fire suppression system. Nanites repair a critically damaged vehicle's engine and extinguish any fires when activated. It has no effect on a vehicle that is not critically damaged. I could probably get a fairly good amount of use out of that. It can be activated 40 seconds, 35 seconds, 30 seconds, 25. Now remember, as always, these numbers are subject to change, pending patches, all that kind of stuff. We just had the big update, so we shouldn't see any more changes for a little bit at least. And now we've got our defensive slot. Nanite auto repair system. Nanites repair damage over time as long as the vehicle has not taken damage within a few seconds. That's kind of nifty. Repairs 0.83% of the vehicle's health each second. Damage disables repairs for 14 seconds. And this increases how much it heals every second and how long it takes until it can start repairing itself again. Vehicle stealth. Stealth increases the time for seeking weapons to establish lock and also prevents the vehicle from automatically appearing to enemies via proximity or radar. That can be pretty helpful. You need 30 to get it initially, and increases the time it takes to lock on the vehicle by 0.25 seconds. Increases lock on time by 0.5 seconds, 1 second. So if you want a fairly invulnerable little flash, that's what you got. Mine Guard, damage from impacts striking the chassis below the vehicle will be reduced. That's self-explanatory. Avoid mines, don't go pew pew boom 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 boom. Reduces damage taken from anti-tank mines by 37%, 50%, 62%, 75%. So if you want them to just be a tickle, then that's what you got. Performance slot. Scrapper Combat Chassis. Improves the ability of the Flash to dart in and out of combat and line up targets by improving traction, turning rate, brakes, and reverse speed. And it increases it with each upgrade. Racer High Speed Chassis. Improves the top speed and acceleration of the Flash. That's good if you're intending it more to be a scouting vehicle than a offensive vehicle. The Scrapper would be more for offensive. The High Speed Chassis would be more for scouting. And as always, improves speed and acceleration with each tier. And we've got Surger Power Chassis. Improves how well the Flash performs when off-roading by increasing handling and hill climbing. And it does the same each time. So that's your performance slot. Each of these go into one of these slots down here. And these, my friends, are for your weapons, which we're going to go right back to. You may notice initially that the Flash is fairly unarmed. So you have to purchase either with Sony credits or certifications to get the weapons. This is a 50 cal machine gun that's good against infantry, which would be good for a nice little scout weapon. Increases the amount of ammo for the weapon, and this increases your capacity with each section. Zoom optics, self-explanatory, unlocks the zoom attachment. I don't know why you would be sniping with a flash machine gun, but there you go, to each their own. And we've got infrared optics, increases the ability to see at night or while in low light conditions. That just gives you the attachment. Thermal optics increases the ability to isolate heat sources in low light conditions. The range on thermal optics is typically very short when compared to infrared night vision. And that just gives you that. And then you get the weapon utility. Each of these are attached to the weapon, so you can only have one ammo, obviously, since there's only one. You only choose one form of optics and one form of utility. You got magazine size and reload speed. And all these upgrades are pretty self-explanatory. And then we've got the very lovely M20 Basilisk. The M20 Basilisk is a slow-firing 20mm heavy machine gun that effectively damages all targets, especially at close range. And as always, we got the weapon ammo. The optics are all the same. And so weapon utility. So whenever you choose a weapon for your flash, you're going to want to find one and stick with it. The M40 Fury launches 40mm grenades that are effective against infantry and capable of light damage against armor. And these contain the same upgrades. So that is the Flash. So let's say we've got enough resources. That's another thing that has been changed since the last video. Resources have been much more simplified. You've got cert points, aerospace types. You've got cert points, aerospace resources, mechanized resources, and infantry resources. And you gain them over time. So we are going to spawn ourselves a Flash, and we're going to go find some trouble with it. You know, the one issue with the Vanu is how much they glow. I think I'm being... Oh, nope. There's a scythe up there. Let me see if you can see it. Oh. Nope. We're about to drive off the road. Oh, there's a scythe. Hello, scythe. We are headed to this territory here. The Crossroads Watchtower, because it looks like there's some damage there. So we're going to go check that out. As you can see, the Flash is mostly a single get-into-the-fight quick vehicle. Its off-road capabilities are fairly useful. Except for whenever you do that, because that kills you. Well, that ended our trip pretty quickly, didn't it? So that's the Flash. We are going to redeploy at the warp gate and move on to our next vehicle. Welcome back to the vehicle select page. Yes, as you can tell, our last trip in the Flash did not end well. That's something that they might want to look into fixing. The Sunderer is a personnel transport. It is a ground personnel transport that can carry you and most of your squad mates into battle. It has a primary weapon and a secondary weapon. There are 3 effective slots in the vehicle. You've got the driver up front, and 1 gunner for the front gun, and 1 gunner for the back gun. Everyone else just kind of sits and hopes that the driver knows what he's doing. For the record, I don't often drive the Sunderer, and as you can see, the appearance are all pretty standard. The certs for it are similar to the Flash. Acquisition timer, that's all the same. Utility slot, we've got Gate Shield Diffuser. When activated, the Sunderer is encased in a coating that allows it to slip through enemy gate shields. As with most upgrades, it just increases the duration of the diffuser, which gives you more time to get up to the shields. Smoke screen. It creates a smoke screen around the vehicle that makes it difficult to see, similar to the one on the Flash, and this just increases the amount of time for the lock-on disruption. Proximity radar. Hostiles near the vehicle are revealed on the minimap for all vehicle occupants. I'm not quite sure how that will help the people sitting inside, especially if the Sunderer is moving, but, you know, maybe there's a use for it. And it increases the range with each cert update. Fire suppression system, similar to the Flash, it helps you not burn to death. Always a useful thing to have. And it lowers the recharge time. Sunderer Advanced Mobile Station. Enables the Sunderer to deploy into an advanced mobile station. It can act as a respawn point for friendly soldiers. That is kind of a must-have for the Sunderer because of its effective uses. And then we've got the defensive slots. Blockade armor increases the armor value of the front, side, top, and rear quadrants of the Sunderer. Self-explanatory, it gives you better armor. Reduces damage by an additional 3%, rear attacks are reduced by an additional 10%, and it increases with each cert update. Ally vehicles near the Sunderer are repaired over time. That's helpful, especially if you're planning to use your Sunderer to lead an armor column. Increases the power of the proximity repair system, and it makes it repair it faster. Vehicle ammo dispenser gives ammo to nearby ally vehicles. Useful. Increases the ammo dispense rate with each update. Nano auto repair, similar to the Flash, it just repairs your vehicle. Remember, you can only use one of these at a time, so having multiple ones, unless you're really focused on driving a Sunderer all the time, you don't really want to focus on too many of them. Unless you're really playing the game. Then we've got Vehicle Stealth. Increases time for seeking weapons to establish a lock and prevents the vehicle from automatically appearing to enemies via proximity or radar. And as always, just upgrades the amount of lock-on time. And Mine Guard. Damage from impacts striking the chassis below the vehicle will be reduced. So that's similar to the Flash as well. And last, we've got the Performance slot. Rival Combat Chassis. Improves the Sunderer's ability to maneuver in combat situations and over rough terrain by improving traction, turning rate, brakes, and reverse speed. And it increases it with each upgrade. And then we've got Racer High-Speed Chassis. Improves the top speed and acceleration of the Sunderer. Remember, you can only have one of these at a time, so pick carefully. Our present weapon is the M20 Basilisk, which is a slow-firing 20mm heavy machine gun that effectively damages all targets, especially at close range. And as with the weapons in the Flash, you got similar upgrades. Ammo capacity upgrades the amount of ammo in the Sunderer. Zoom optics, infrared optics, and thermal optics. Weapon utility, magazine size, and reload speed. Pretty standard amongst all the vehicle-based weapons. And as you can see, the secondary slot has the same upgrades as well. Each of the 4 weapons can also be put in a secondary or the primary slot, so you could have, say, an M20 in the front and a M60G Bulldog on the back. We'll be getting to that in a moment. So first we've got the M12 Cobalt, which is a 50 cal machine gun for anti-infantry. and all the upgrades are the same as always. We've got the M40 Fury, which is 40mm grenade launcher, and as is redundant, all the upgrades are the similar. And then we've got the M60G Bulldog. The M60 Bulldog fires high explosive 60mm rounds with a large blast radius effective against infantry. Direct hits provide some damage to armor. So you're not really going to be using a Sunderer as an anti-armor vehicle, but some is better than none. So if you're planning to take it into heavy combat, you might want anti-infantry, maybe with a Bulldog in the back. You never know. But that is the Sunderer's certifications. So we're going to spawn one, and we're going to see how long I can keep this one alive. Let's see. Spawn now. Oh, that's a nifty little guide here, and we're going to see if we can actually get to our waypoint this time. So, let's see. I am not about to drive it off a cliff, am I? Nope, just down the hill. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, we're good. We're still good. No damage, no nothing. We're just driving it towards the waypoint. Now notice the driver cannot control the weapons, so I would actually need passengers in order to make these weapons go. That is a tree. Let's try to avoid hitting the tree. So we got top speed, we're going. Oh, we're in a crevice, we're good, we're good. See? It's got fairly decent off-road capabilities. And at least if it, starts to flip, we can get out of it, unlike the Flash. We're going to keep it heading around this way. Now the Flash and the Sunderer, with their other counterparts and the Lightning, the vehicles are the same. So when I go over them once, they're going to be the same for everyone. What I'll do is I'll just show what they look like for the other factions. Hey, we're almost to the destination this time. Should we change it? Let's see if there's action someplace else. Oh, that's all taken over by the NC. How delightful. We are going to shift our goal to this way. We're going to see if we can't find some trouble, or at the very least see how much damage the Sunderer can take, which I will tell you is a great deal of damage. F2 will put us in this front machine gun here, F3 will put us in the aft machine gun, and F1 will put us back into the driver's seat. You can, of course, change these buttons in the key binding. And we're being shot. Who's shooting us? I can't tell who's shooting us. We should probably get out of this vehicle. I'm not in the driver's seat. I'm going to run away. Oh, it would probably be him. And he shot me. Interesting. So, that is the Flash and the Sunderer. And we're going to resume when I can look at the Flash and the Sunderer for the other factions. So as you can see, this would be the NC Flash, with special camo applied and all that kind of fun stuff. And then we've got the NC Sunderer. And as you can tell, the certs are all the same. And now we're going to check out the Terran Republic ones. Always fun. So as you can see, this is the nifty TR Flash. And this is the nifty TR Sunderer right here. All the appearance options and everything. They all look the same. They all have the same capabilities, same certs as the NC and the VS ones. Next episode, we're going to check out the Lightning, which is my personal favorite ground vehicle. Mainly because I can drive it solo, and that way the only person that really suffers when it explodes is myself. And each of the faction-specific vehicles, and all their nice little weapon loadout. After that, it'll be air vehicles, and that will certainly present a fun time. So until then, my friends, as always, game on and take care.